Good morning, everyone. So, to the viewers of Dataquest. So, this is another round of tech talks and Dataquest interviews. So, this time I'm very pleased to have with us Anil Kumar Gollapudi, who's the CFO of Varsity Education Management. Welcome, Anil. It's great to connect with you.
Thank you, Sunil. Good morning and welcome. Hi, everyone.
Yeah. So before we proceed, maybe just in brief, like two minutes, maybe you can tell us about yourself and
Sure.
what Varsity Education Management does. Then we'll go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I'll just give a brief about my present role and my past experience and what Varsity does also. So Varsity is into K-12 education services. So it provides services to the K-12 schools and colleges. So it has three major verticals. The first vertical is it provides services to K-12 schools and colleges. It provides various services like examination services and non-academic services like IT, accounting, sports, and other services. And the second vertical is it has coaching centers other than which are not affiliated to the boards like intermediate board or 10th board. It has coaching centers under the brand name Knowledge Hubs. And third vertical, we have our own subsidiary called Rajguru. It has an edutech platform with the brand name Infinity Learn.
Yeah.
So these are the three major verticals that Varsity has. And about me, I'm with Varsity for the last 24 months, close to 2 years. It is 1 month short of 2 years. And before this, I was with Apollo Health and Lifestyle, which is part of Apollo Group as a group financial controller. And before that, majority of my experience was with IT industry, ITES, with companies like OpenText. Sorry. With OpenText, I was as financial controller for India and Malaysia regions, and before that, with companies like Computer Associates and Indian School of Business. And with Varsity, I'm acting as the group CFO for the Varsity and its subsidiaries, and also for the trust entities for which Varsity provides services.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for that introduction. It'll help as we go forward. So I think I'll start with, what's the hot topic of the day? It's, AI, whether it's Gen AI or normal AI. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you must be doing a lot of innovation, and with the way, you have to be adaptable with the way everything is evolving, especially post COVID. And I
Sure.
believe you also have a tie-up with Oracle. So maybe you can tell us something about that.
Yeah, so we just went live with Oracle Fusion 2 months back. We went live in December 23. So even
Yeah.
before Oracle Fusion, we were on Oracle EBS platform only for almost like 5-6 years. But that implementation for some reason was not a thorough implementation with automations and then efficiencies in place. It was more of manual process. So when I came on board way back in 22, so we explored options on, we wanted a foolproof single source of truth for all our reportings and MIS. So we explored options of whether we should repair the existing system or should we go with another implementation. We did pros and cons of both the options, and then we finally zeroed down that we should do another implementation. So repairing the existing system will be tougher because of the legacy data that is already there in the system.
Yeah.
So we thought doing another implementation is easier, and we explored various options and then zeroed down to Oracle Fusion.
So, would you want to elaborate on like what have been the challenges that the unified platform has addressed? What are the challenges? What are the benefits?
Yeah,
And going forward, what do you expect to get out of it?
sure. So I generally keep telling my team and whenever I chat to peers. So generally when we join any company, we generally have exposure to one industry. Like for example, if I join Airtel, I'll have exposure to telecom industry.
Right.
But here with Varsity, we have different complexities that we have in place. I'll just explain in brief. Because of the industry we are in, which is an education industry, Varsity is the biggest, Sri Chaitanya Group is the biggest chain of K-12 schools and colleges in India. We have 1,000 branches with approximately 8 lakh students per year. So that is obviously the primary industry that we are in. And because of the education industry we are in, we have different campuses like residential and day scholars. We have 62 cloud kitchens serving 140 residential campuses and approximately 140,000 students every day. So it is almost not lesser than any chain of restaurants. So we have to ensure that the stock is maintained properly, ordered properly, the reorder levels are maintained properly, and then it is reaching the campuses in time, quality of food wastage and all those things also. And we have a fleet of 3,000 vehicles. Again, there are approximately 150,000 students availing the transport facility. So it is again no less than a fleet management company. So there are various complexities involved. And our earlier system did not have a foolproof platform to manage the numbers.
Okay.
And when we started exploring the options, we had a laundry list of items that we wanted to achieve, as small as access control automation to the users, till automation of kitchen reports, automation of the entire P2P cycle we wanted to be automated. That time it was completely manual in terms of flow of purchase orders from the branches till the central office who does the purchase orders, till receiving of invoices and the payments process, integration with the banks for pushing the files and getting the UTR numbers back from the bank, and then sending the remittance advices to the suppliers. The entire P2P cycle we wanted to be automated. And revenue, a bigger chunk of our revenue was manual. We had two front-end billing systems, and all the revenue accounting was manual. The team used to download the reports in the billing systems and then do massaging of data and then upload the entries into the Oracle platform. Now we integrated through APIs. We did the integration through APIs between our billing systems and Oracle Fusion. And we had different touch points. We had almost like 16 integration touch points by which collections, deposits, revenue, month-end accruals, everything is automated by virtue of the logics that are written with the integrations. So these are some of the pain points that we had earlier, which we achieved with the go-live.
Yeah, so maybe can you expand on some of those pain points and how you resolved them? Because more. Yeah.
Sure. So I'll take an example of revenue because that is a little bit complex one.
Okay.
As I said it a few minutes back, so we had 1,000 branches. There'll be obviously parents of the students walking in every day, paying the fees at the branches into different modes. Like
Right.
somebody might be paying in cash, somebody with the card, somebody with the online platform like that.
Right.
So as I said, what the team used to do is the team used to download the report from the billing systems, then do different reportings of what is the cash collection, what is the card collection, what is the UPI collection, what is the collection through payment gateway, then do the reconciliations. First pass the collection entries, then do the BRS, and then pass the revenue accrual entries at the end.
Right.
So there are different steps that are involved for reconciling the collections and revenue recognition. So what we did is we sat down with PwC was our implementation partner. We sat down with PwC, wrote logics for what should the integrations be. Like for example, if it is collections, the entries should be passed in a way that the logic that we adopted is per branch, per mode, per day. So there will be one line that is pushed by the billing system into Oracle, which is per branch, per mode, per day. Like for example, if it is branch 1, it will push 3 or 4 lines based on the modes of collections. Cash collection 1 line, card collection 1 line, UPI collection 1 line, like that, which is pushed to Oracle. And there are different unique numbers that we give to the transaction lines for us to make sure to make the reconciliation easier for the team. So each line will have a source ID and the unique reference number, so that when the team reconciles, because initial 5 to 6 months, the team is expected to download the data and reconcile, because since it is a new system, we want to make sure everything is flowing correctly. So we had a unique number for each transaction so that the team can download the reports and reconcile. And then at the end of the month, there are another touch points for the revenue accruals. So revenue accruals basically again have to consider previous month's data and do the calculation to arrive at the delta number, because there might be some new students who have joined in this month. There might be some dropouts who have dropped out in this month. So we have to consider all those permutations and combinations and then make sure the revenue accrual is correct. So we did all those scenario analysis and then arrived at logics to make sure the revenue accrual is correct at the end of the month.
So, like going forward, what are the cutting edge technologies that are being pioneered through Varsity Education's collaboration with Oracle, especially in education management?
So I'm not sure if there is something specific to education, but I'll take an opportunity to explain where are we today and what are we planning to do going forward.
Yeah, because I was asking because it's quite fascinating. You're talking of fleet management, you're talking of billing, you're talking of kitchen. So it's quite a wide range. So if you have missed out anything, you can talk of that also then.
Sure. So what we did is, I think approximately 18 months back, we internally kind of decided that next 18 months is going to be a transformation period for the group, including digital transformation.
Right.
And then we took few initiatives. First one, obviously, the Oracle Fusion implementation, because when we talk about single source of truth, there should be one platform where all the financial data is coming from. And of course, it should be the ERP. Then we zeroed down to Oracle Fusion. And second implementation that we did is the HRMS implementation. We had 60,000 employees across the group. We didn't have an captive HRMS. So we did an HRMS implementation. And then the third piece that we wanted to do was the intranet. We didn't have an intranet where we were maintaining all the compliance documents, legal documents, and all those things. So we again used Oracle Content Management, OCM, and then developed intranet on that platform. And we arrived at different solutions where we can manage all our documents. A couple of complex solutions that we did in the intranet is, one is leases. We have almost like 1,000 leases with 5,000 landlords. There are approximately 3,000 lease agreements, which keep on renewing pretty much every month. Every month we'll have something or the other coming up for renewal. And similarly, compliance. So every branch will have a lot of compliance documents like board permission, fire and OC, police permission, like that. So we didn't have a central repository to maintain all these documents. So we came up with an intranet where we can maintain all these documents. So that was our first step to build a platform. And the second step that we are doing from here is at least as far as the kitchen is concerned, even in the existing system, we don't have a solution to measure the wastage of food, because that is one of the major costs for us. When we look at the P&L, face of the P&L, kitchen cost is one of the major costs. And we have been struggling to control wastage in the kitchen costs. And I can do control of wastage only when I know standards. And I don't have a system to measure or control or compare the actions with the standards. So right now, since we have the basic kitchen platform where the end users in the kitchen punch in what we call as day sheet. Day sheet is the actual quantity that is consumed every day for the food that is produced every day. So now what we are doing as a next step is we are coming up with standards. So what would each kitchen need for them to cook, for example, for say 100 batch of 100 students? What is the standard quantity that is required? Then obviously there is actions that they'll be punching in going forward. Then we want to compare standards with actuals and then see where is the wastage happening and how to control that. So that is the next step that we are starting. Maybe that will take another quarter or so. So that is one of the major things that we are doing as a next step.
Yeah. So also one more thing, can you expand on maybe AI, more of how AI is used? Any examples related to AI, and will Gen AI be used here or?
No,
Right
actually,
now?
as I said, since we went live just 2 months ago, we didn't get a chance to effectively start using AI.
Okay.
Do we have plans? Like, for example, actually, I'll take an example of kitchen again.
Yeah.
We do a lot of purchases for kitchens every day, and
Yeah.
we didn't have a control on the market prices, and we don't have platform where we can get the data into one place and see what is that we can do.
Yeah.
So at some point in time in the future, we want to integrate our system with the market platform, the sourcing portal, and then see if we can get the market prices and make comparative and relative decisions easier.
Yeah. So I think I've got most of what I wanted. Just one final question. This you can maybe answer it informally. I'm like quite interested in knowing people's COVID journey, because I think Varsity started in 2010, I believe. So is it? Yeah.
True.
So till 2019, it was business as usual. 2020 there was a crisis. Then 2 years there was an acceleration, and now things have settled down. So maybe if you can talk from the point of view or industry, Oracle, or personal, what has been that journey in the last 5 years? I find that quite fascinating.
Sure. So I think at least from our side, as a group, we started our EdTech platform maybe a year just before COVID. But incidentally, that came up, and I think it was a shock for all of us.
Yeah.
I think my personal few points there are, I think during those 2 years, everyone thought that the education industry will change drastically because it will move from the traditional brick and mortar model to the online model.
Right.
I keep saying to my friends also, because when I was at Apollo also, I keep saying that, at least my personal perception, I think two industries where the people are not tech savvy and nobody would have estimated that technology that would play that critical role is healthcare and education.
Yeah.
And we never expected that technology will play that big role until COVID came in. That changed the complete scenario. So as others had, we also had challenges during COVID, and we tried to cope up with the platform that we just started before COVID to build it up rapidly and then make it accessible to the users. But then I think sooner or later after COVID, we realized that online is not going to be a sustainable platform, at least for education. And it cannot be a model where the classes can be run only on online. At least it will be a hybrid model, for sure, not a complete online model. I think the brick and mortar model has its own importance to the kids in terms of their feel when they go to schools, interact with the teachers, friends, and all that. So I think online is only a collaborative effort and not a replacement to the traditional brick and mortar model is what we feel.
Yeah. So maybe just then one final thing going ahead, any interesting trend, future trend you see in the edutech or the use of ERP by education in this space? Maybe just one.
I think I would say until K-12 at least, until K-10 or
Sure.
K-12, there should not be significant changes.
Okay.
But there will be definitely the role of technology increasing in terms of like even today we see a lot of test preps.
Yeah.
So the students have more access to online platforms where they can access papers and then do more practicing and all that. Maybe that part of the preparation for exams and the competitive exams will increase, but the regular classes and teaching, I think will the still the regular brick and mortar model will still hold good.
Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for an engrossing and enlightening discussion. Thank
Sure.
you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.